This home does not announce itself loudly, instead, it welcomes you with a soft, confident presence. From the very first moment, the atmosphere feels intentional, calm, warm, and emotionally grounding. The philosophy behind the design is simple yet profound. Architecture should support the rhythm of life, not compete with it. Every surface, every opening, and every transition is guided by the desire to create serenity, turning the house into a sanctuary shaped by light, material honesty, and timeless restraint. The journey toward the entrance is carefully choreographed. Subtle landscaping, textured stone pathways, and the gentle play of shadow encourage you to slow down before even stepping inside. This deliberate pacing is part of the architecture's language, preparing the mind to shift from the outside world into a more introspective, peaceful state. The exterior composition is clean and minimal, yet far from cold. Soft-toned plaster walls, natural stone accents, and warm timber details echo Mediterranean traditions while remaining unmistakably contemporary. The facade feels sculpted rather than decorated, allowing proportion and material to speak more eloquently than ornament ever could. Light is the true protagonist of this home. Carefully positioned openings invite sunlight to move slowly across walls throughout the day, creating ever-changing atmospheres. Morning light feels gentle and hopeful, while the afternoon glow becomes warmer, wrapping the spaces in a golden calm that feels both emotional and cinematic. Crossing the main door does not feel abrupt, it feels like a pause between two worlds. The entry space is understated yet generous, with soft textures and muted tones that immediately lower the sensory volume. It is a moment of decompression, a subtle architectural gesture that honors the transition between outside and inside. The material language inside remains deeply connected to the earth. Lime-washed walls, travertine flooring, and natural wood surfaces create a tactile richness without visual noise. These materials are chosen not for trend, but for longevity, aging gracefully as the home becomes more meaningful over time. The main living area feels open yet grounded. Low-profile furniture, layered textures, and soft shadows contribute to an atmosphere that invites long conversations and quiet reflection alike. This is not a space designed to impress visitors, it is designed to hold life gently, day after day. Large openings blur the boundary between interior and exterior. Courtyards, terraces, and gardens become extensions of the living space, allowing nature to feel ever-present. The architecture does not dominate the landscape, instead, it collaborates with it, framing views like living artworks. At the heart of the home, intimate courtyards provide moments of solitude and stillness. These open-air rooms invite fresh air, shifting light, and the quiet presence of greenery. They are spaces not for productivity, but for presence, a rare luxury in contemporary life. The kitchen feels more like a calm atelier than a functional workspace. Natural stone countertops, warm wood cabinetry, and soft lighting transform everyday routines into meaningful rituals. Cooking here becomes less about speed and more about connection, to ingredients, to time, to those gathered nearby. The dining area is positioned where light is most poetic. Sheer curtains diffuse the sun, creating a gentle glow that flatters every moment spent around the table. Meals here feel slower, more intentional, as if the architecture itself encourages deeper presence. Even transitional spaces are treated with care. Corridors are not merely passages but experiences where light, shadow, and texture create subtle moments of beauty. These quiet in-between zones reinforce the idea that every part of the home deserves emotional attention. The private rooms embrace restraint even more deeply. Soft textures, minimal furnishings, and a muted color palette create environments that prioritize rest over stimulation. The bedrooms feel like cocoons, protective, gentle, and deeply personal. Each bedroom is oriented to welcome natural morning light. There is a poetic intimacy in waking as sunlight slowly touches the walls, replacing alarm clocks with something far more humane. This connection to natural rhythms elevates everyday life into something more mindful. The bathrooms feel spa-like without excess. Stone basins, textured walls, and warm lighting create an atmosphere of quiet indulgence. These are spaces where functionality meets emotion, where daily routines become moments of restoration. Shadow is treated with as much intention as light. Recessed niches, textured surfaces, and architectural overhangs create depth and softness throughout the home. These shadows add a cinematic quality, making each space feel layered and visually calm. The furnishings are carefully curated to support the architecture rather than overpower it. Organic forms, natural fabrics, and low silhouettes reinforce the home's serene language. Everything feels chosen with patience, not urgency. One of the most powerful qualities of this home is its acoustic calm. Thoughtful material choices and spatial planning reduce noise and echo, allowing silence to become part of the experience. In a world saturated with sound, this quiet becomes a form of luxury. This home embraces sustainability not through technology alone, but through timeless design. Durable materials, passive lighting strategies, and a strong connection to climate ensure that the house will remain relevant and efficient for decades, resisting the disposable nature of trends. Rather than seeking perfection, the architecture welcomes change. Natural materials will patina, wood will deepen in tone, stone will tell stories. This acceptance of aging gives the home emotional depth, transforming it into a living archive of experiences. Daily life here unfolds at a different tempo. The architecture gently encourages slower mornings, longer meals, quieter evenings. It does not force a lifestyle, but it subtly supports one centered on presence, comfort, and emotional balance. Ultimately, this serene modern home is more than an aesthetic achievement, it is a philosophy made tangible. Shaped by Mediterranean light and grounded in honest materials, it reminds us that true luxury lies in calm, intention, and emotional resonance. For the Modo Haus community, this home stands as a timeless example of how architecture can nurture the soul, inviting us to live not louder, but deeper.